This is the agenda for the next 50 minutes. I'm going to talk to you about distilling what you know down into what your audience wants and needs to know, a process to make that easier. And then Rob's going to talk to us about how to present like a pro. And so I think through our education, we learn a whole lot of different things. Then we get experience in work, in summer student placements, in volunteer positions, and we learn even more. And then we take that and we just learn more as we go. And all of that specialized learning is very specific to us as individuals. Specific, complex, detailed knowledge that all of us carry in a different way that others don't know. How much of that do other people really need to know? And I think that's the hardest part about becoming an expert in any field. And so actually Janet, my twin sister, and I developed a rigorous process for working with healthcare providers to help them distill their expert clinical knowledge down to something that a patient or a caregiver would need to know. And that exact same process can work for developing a PowerPoint for anybody. We got really stuck trying to write the wedding speech for our very best friend. It worked for that. And so I'm going to share it with you today in less than 10 minutes. A really quick process for helping you take everything that you know and figuring out what can I give this audience within your time constraint and that will add value to them. So it's all based on some basic principles in adult learning. Adults are more open to learning what they deem they need to know. So how many people are here because someone told them they had to come today? Put up your hand. Were you told? Why are you here?
Not that I had to come.
Yeah.
Just that I should come.
That you should come?
That was not today though. It's like to all of them. You know what I mean?
Okay. So knowing that this is why you're here, that changes how Rob and I design the session. Adult learners also learn best if they believe they'll be successful. Imagine if you were coming today and you didn't think you'd be able to take anything away from this. What kind of session would this be? So it needs to be designed in a way that makes learners feel like they're going to win. And adult learners are more successful when they're able to reflect on their own beliefs and experiences and relate that to the new knowledge. So if you don't buy into something that we're saying, you'll probably walk away with nothing. But if you agree or you find something that you can relate to in what the other is explaining, then you'll be more likely to embrace it, take it away, and make meaning with it. Distilling your knowledge to your target audience does exactly that. It enables you to express the value add and to motivate learners to come. It keeps it bite-sized and easier to remember. So it's not information overload. When you can distill what you know down to what your audience needs to know, it's a lot smaller and more likely to be carried away. It also forces you to be accountable to your target audience, to tell them what is most likely to be valued and understood. If you don't distill your content, and I'm sure you've all been in these lectures where you get an hour of everything the prof knows about something, and maybe this much of it you needed to actually know that will actually help you in your practice. So it makes you more accountable. When you distill it, you're making it more relatable, shorter, more bite-sized. So the distillation process is simple. Answer 4 questions. And they are, Janet and I call it the 3 W's and an H, and it's a paper that we published in the Journal of Patient Education and Counseling. But this rapid prototype version, this rapid version is not published in the paper. This is just a quick and dirty for when you have to figure out to distill a presentation or outline a presentation. So who, why, what, and how. And the first one is, who exactly is your target audience? So today, when I was thinking about developing this for you, I'm not going to give you everything I learned in my master's degree about adult education because that's really not that important. Really stop and think about who's here and what do they need to take away for their basics. So most people are summer students, young, keen, and if you're not young, you're still keen and educated. And it's summer, and you still may prefer to be outside. This is lunch hour after all. A lot of people in the room are millennials. You grew up using tech, you're multimedia savvy, and this is true about millennials. Most millennials have an attention span of about 90 seconds. And that's just what it is. I mean, we have to be a lot more on our toes with you. You value evidence, you're interested in human health and research, and you really want to contribute. And there's a small piece of you, all of you, that is a little bit nerdy. And so you value evidence, and you probably want to. I mean, all of us are a little bit nerdy, right? So who are you? So this, really figuring out who exactly is your target audience is really important. So it's going to really help you answer the next question. which is, why should they come? Why should anyone attend your talk? And today, this is kind of what Rob were coming, and I thought, and I'm sure Rob has more. Learn how to present effectively, learn some tips to improve your presentation skills, and spend some time with Rob Hawke. At least that's one of my reasons for wanting to be here, but maybe you guys don't know him yet, so. Does that sort of mirror some of the things that you were answering when we started a second ago? Some of the reasons to come? You want to learn a bit more about this? So it's pretty basic. Like, you're not asking for an overview of educational theory. You're asking to get some tips about how to present content. And then the what. So based on your findings with the why and the what, by answering the who and the why, what are the 3 to 5 most significant things a person needs to know in order to enact the why? So what will you gain from attending today? And that kind of becomes the outline of your presentation. The agenda slide is the what. Oops. So this is the process that we went through. Who? Some students from various backgrounds. Why? Learn how to develop and present effective presentations. What do you need to know? Walk through a method for distilling content. And 2, learn tips to convey your information with confidence. And how? Well, we're going to talk to you, have some experience sharing. We're going to use PowerPoint, so we can put up some visuals. Have discussion, interaction, and humor will be used. And those are some of the ways in which we'll pass this on. And that's the last part of the 3 W's and the H, which is the how. Which is, how can you best present your content to deliver what you need to convey? And it's not always a PowerPoint. That's definitely, I think you all know that, because you probably don't all love to watch PowerPoints all the time. This is an example from this series. How many people attended the Reader's Theatre session? Do you want to talk about it? How it's a bit different, a different way of presenting content?
Yeah, I don't know how many of us were there, but it was, at least from the perspective of being one of the readers, it was very emotional, because as soon as you have to flip a situation to saying I or myself, and I think even just switching that language makes it you don't have a choice for it to be more personal in that experience. So I think that format of learning breast cancer, like an experience with breast cancer, and from being the doctor, was much more effective than just listening, to a PowerPoint presentation.
So a qualitative research study was done talking to breast cancer survivors about what it was like with their diagnosis. And it was published into a paper, which was amazing. But only people who read papers about the experiences of cancer survivors would read that. And so this group hired a playwright to script an oral reader's theater workshop for oncology professionals to really demonstrate what happens those moments, what that experience really like. And so we had 8 students come to the front of the room, and one was a doctor, and that was you. And the rest one of them was the patient, and then the rest were her conscience. And they had to read this script. And so when the doctor gave the diagnosis, she's like, okay. And then her conscience just starts to spiral. Oh my God, my kids. Does that mean I'm dying? And it's very hard not to cry. So it takes the experience to a different level. And so even though we're talking about how to do a presentation well, it still is important to consider what can you do within your presentation to break that up and make it more meaningful. This is a little scribble in my notebook when preparing for today. I did the 3 W's and H. I simply answered, who is the target audience? Why would they come here? What do they need to know? And how am I going to present it? So the summary is, asking yourself 4 simple questions can have a significant impact on the quality of what you're going to present to people, and it can make it more meaningful. And without any further ado, I'm going to leave those 4 simple things. Can we just say them out loud first, just so it helps you remember? Sure. Who, why, what, and how. Yeah. And that's the order you have to do it in. And we'll pass it over to Rob to talk about how to make it more impactful.
It's really, I know everybody says this, it's really cool to be here. I used to work here. And now I don't anymore, so expect a lot of swearing. Thank you. I wonder if you can do something for me right now. Can you think of someone who you consider to be a leader in healthcare? Just think of somebody who's a leader in healthcare. Maybe it's somebody you really respect here at the institution level, in this organization. Maybe it's somebody provincially. Maybe it's somebody nationally or even globally. Really want you to think of that person. I'm going to guess of all the different people that we're thinking about right now, they probably have 3 things in common, at least. But the first 3 that come to my mind are they're probably really smart, probably crazy smart, goes without saying, right? Second thing, I bet they are remarkably well educated, and not just formally, but informally. I bet they know virtually everything they can about their area of expertise. And I bet they're kind of voracious about it. And I bet there's also a third thing. I bet they know how to talk to a room. I bet they know how to talk to a room. Now in healthcare, where we are right now, the first two things are actually pretty common. You know, everybody in this room is smart. Everybody in this room is smart, right? We all are. So that's kind of a given. And also a really good education, and being really serious about your education, is very common here too. And I know some of you folks have graduated and are working professionals, I believe. I think some are working on your master's or your PhD right now. And that's terrific. Congratulations, way to go. Like, tons of respect for that. In this kind of environment, I also know that that's kind of the price of admission, meaning that will get you in the room. Doesn't mean that you're going to be able to innovate. Doesn't mean that you're going to be able to necessarily get your ideas done. See, and that's why this third thing, this being able to present, being able to talk, why it's so important, because it's really rare here. But if you know how to do it, man, it'll do so much for you. So much for you. I'm guessing you've seen a bunch of presentations. You're seeing one right now, right? But you've seen a bunch of presentations in healthcare. I know Tina and Janet and Grace, we all have. We've seen a bunch of them, right? And some of them, a small percentage, are really wonderful and really inspiring and terrific. And then there's a chunk that are pretty good. You go, that was pretty good. That's all right. And the vast majority are really not so good. And when I was rehearsing, I didn't say really not so good. I said they suck. Some of them suck. They do. Not all, but some of them do. And it's kind of heartbreaking, because maybe you've seen one of these, or maybe more than one, where you know the person has worked incredibly hard on a project. They've done like 3 or 4 years. They've got an idea. They've done their research. They've done their thing. They've stayed up late. They've done everything. And the time comes for them to essentially perform. Right? And it's time to present, and maybe there's 30 people there, and all the important people they're trying to impress. And but the thing, they go to them, and here they are with their thing. And it goes like this. Okay, thanks. All right. I think, okay, the slides are, okay, good. Well, my initial idea was, my objective was to study how raccoons are taking over the world. And, well, they are, but I can't, that was too broad for me to study. So I decided to prove that raccoons know grammar. And so but I had some troubles, but okay, we'll get to that, but that's later on. And you know that they're really smart, and they might have amazing, wonderful stuff. There literally might be ideas that change a lot in that paper, but you're never going to know about them. And as an audience member, that's our loss. And I've seen them. I've seen brilliant people present and just go, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm sure it's really important, and I'm sure it would be really important to me if I knew. And to the person who's doing it, it's heartbreak city, because they've stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning. And it's literally like they've done that marathon run. They've gone 25 3/4 miles or whatever it is, and they got a block to go. And in literally the last 15 minutes, they trip. And it's tough to see. Right? Now that's hard, and that's what happens when we don't know how to present, and it's really, really common here. The stakes, I gotta say, they get a little larger than that too, because if that pattern keeps on going, it can mean that someone who's a genius and somebody who really knows their stuff and might have an idea that literally improves healthcare, they just work by themselves their whole career, and their ideas just never get done. And that's a massive waste for everybody. However, the flip side of that coin, when you do know how to present and do simple stuff like I'm doing right now, the world kind of opens up. People are literally attracted to you professionally. You do a few presentations that go well, and folks will come up and go, oh my gosh, that was really good. Thanks a lot. And they might say something like, you know what, we've got a project going, and we really need another person, and if you could be part of it, that'd be great. Or you know what, we got a committee, and it'd be great if you joined in, because you had some really great ideas. And then maybe in a couple of months, they might say, you know what, you're so comfortable presenting, why don't you lead for us? Because we got this big thing next month, and everybody's terrified, but you could be the face of it for us. You go, yeah. It can also mean stuff like, you know, some folks, I know you two have like done conferences around the world and gone to different places and been taken places, you know? And there you get to meet other thought leaders. Sometimes you get jobs out of it. I'll tell you a secret about myself. I have no business being here. I don't. I really don't. I'm a pissed off cancer patient. And I know how to make people laugh sometimes, and I know how to talk. That's all I have. Seriously, that's it. I was a cancer patient. I had a really lousy experience with a physician. It made me so mad that I was like, I got to do something about this. And I started performing comedy about it. And a couple of really kind people, one of whom was Dr. Pam Catton, kind of pulled me in and said, let's go, kid. We want you in the system. And I went, great. And I was off and running. Right? So you can really do stuff when you know how to do this. Now, as I said, I've said it a bunch of times now, the benefits of learning to do this are huge. You might look at me and say, Rob, but how? That's ridiculous. Some people are gifted. Some people are just born with this. They can stand up. They can do 10 minutes at the drop of a hat. And that's not me. I get sweaty palms. I get nervous. I don't know what to do. Fair enough. I understand all that. I understand it. There are really simple techniques that we can do that we're going to do over the course of the next 30 minutes where you're going to see some people do some really cool stuff. And it's not that hard. The trip from this presentation that I was kind of sort of making fun of, right? The trip from that to somebody like Tina, who's doing wonderful stuff, is not that big. It's not that big a trip. But when you do it, it's really worth doing. All right. I've been talking ad nauseum. But now we're going to start to do stuff. We don't have much time. We probably have 30 minutes officially. Now, I like to do things really, really quickly and make them happen. I like it when people learn really fast. And I'm an improv guy, so I do a lot of silly things, which means you are going to do some silly things. But this is the best way I know to get us to learn quickly. So without further ado, I want everybody to stand up. Everybody stand up. Now, how are you on time? Oh, cool. Right on. Okay, first thing we're going to do. I can see you. I can see everybody. That's cool. I want everyone to throw their hands up. Big breath in. And we're going to let it out with a laugh. Awesome, but twice as much, people. Let's go. One more time. Let it out with a laugh. Again, one more time. Commit. Let's go. Okay, good. I know that's silly and it's ridiculous. There's a couple really cool things happening right there. While we're doing that, while we're laughing and while we're introducing more oxygen into our systems, we are in fact increasing our levels of serotonin and dopamine that has been scientifically proven to help us be more creative, more open, to bond with people better. And it also helps us to risk more. So we're going to do a couple of more really goofy, weird things like that. Now, we're going to play a game, and I wonder if very briefly, you folks around the edge, please stay where you are. You folks in the middle, can you kind of come out here a little bit? And then we're going to form kind of sort of a circle, even though I told Julian we wouldn't, but we are. I lied, Julian. I'm a terrible man. So you make eye contact, you clap, and you point. And it's a smooth, fast motion, okay? And you really got to send it, all right? So it goes like that. There you go. Go ahead. Give it to somebody else, and it just goes around the room. At random. Perfect. Send it. Yeah, that's it. Nice. Grace had it. Grace had it. Somebody take it. Whichever one of you take it, grab it and do it. Doesn't matter which. Take that focus. Over to me. I'm going to take it. Now you got it. If you think it's you, take it. Good. Good. Yeah. Perfect. All right, excellent. We'll stop there. Give yourselves a round of applause. It was really nice. It was good. Okay, now we're going to go very quickly. We are going to say our names. I'm going to say my name, throw up my hand. We're going to go around the room very, very quickly. Ready? Rob. Perfect. All right, now we're going to play Clap Focus with Names. Ha! Ha! You guys didn't pay attention, did you? You want to go around again? Yeah? All right, no, we're not going to do it around again. I'm going to trust that you guys actually listened. Okay? You have a bad memory? Okay, I'll tell you a secret. Rob. Okay, Rob. Okay, well,
What's my name?
I have no idea. Okay, for that reason, we're going to go around again. I was shamed into it. It's all right. Rob. Taryn. Awesome. All right, now, same thing, except this time we add the name of the person we're sending the focus to. All right? And I get this wrong all the time. So I've got 50. Ready? Here we go. Will. Boom. If you don't know, you can send it back to me, and that's all right. And I'll screw up. Rob. Okay, great. Alyssa. Boom. I want to send it to you, and I have no idea what your name is. I'm sorry. Zarin? Pick somebody else. Come on. Take a risk. Yeah, I know, they are. They are. That's really good. It's weird. Where'd it go? Nice. Well done, everybody. Give yourselves a round of applause. And you hit it exactly. You could hear a question mark on every one of those. Huh? It all went up. Huh? All right, we're going to do one more of these really goofy exercises. And I did this with 40 kids going through cancer who had just met. And they kicked the crap out of this exercise. It was quite inspiring and wonderful. So I'm hoping you can do as well. Now, this is ridiculous, just to let you know. You're going to feel stupid. It's called My Hilarious Friend. My Hilarious Friend goes like this. In a minute, not yet, but in a minute, we are all going to pretend we have heard the best, most hilarious joke in the entire world. So we are going to laugh uproariously. Uproariously. It might be fake, exaggerated laughter. It does not matter. All right? Now, I'm going to demonstrate this. I wonder if you could say the word pomegranate to me, please. Like that, but more, all right? I was kind of soft playing it. There is method to this madness, all right? Now, if you're tough enough, you can pull this off, but everybody's got to be really, really committed. So we're all going to laugh uproariously on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go! More, come on. More. I know, you feel dumb. I do too. More, come on, it died. Let's go. What do you think you're dealing with here? All right, give yourselves a round of applause. That was good. Marvelous. All right, everybody, go and have a seat where you were. You may notice the room's energy feels different, right? Doesn't it? That's because the serotonin and the dopamine in your systems are cooking right now. You're actually more creative. You want to do something? You want to do something a little risky? Do goofy things like that. Your body will react in a chemical way that will actually help and support you. Now, we're going to do something. We're going to talk. So what I want you to do in not yet, but almost, is start to think about a talk that you're going to give. Some people are going to stand up here and they're going to deliver a talk to the group. It's going to be really, really short. Maybe it's going to be a minute. Maybe it's going to be a minute and a half. The subject of the talk will not be anything related to work or research or anything like that. The subject of the talk will be what you love to do. Could be anything, right? And it doesn't have to be well thought out. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a great structure. It doesn't even have to make sense. You have to come up and stand here and talk for a minute to a minute and a half. Now, I'm going to demonstrate this right now myself, just because. So the talk I'm going to give, okay, here we go. Hi, everybody. My name's Rob. And one thing I really love to do is go on a houseboat. The men in my family, on my wife's side, we get together once a year. We pay way too much money to rent a boat. And then we go off in Buckhorn Lake and we fish for 2 days and we swear and we eat terrible food. And it's so much fun. And you know what's really weird about it is I was amazed because the first year, I've driven the boat 2 years now, nobody wants to drive the boat. And it's like this 40-foot thing, you know, and it's a rental. So like if you wreck it, you know, kind of who cares, right? Just don't make it obvious, right? So, but they're like, Rob, drive. And I'm like, sure, I'll friggin' drive. So I like drive this boat and I barely know what I'm doing all the time. And we go through a lock system. There's a lock. So literally you go in and it's really tight and there's like walls on either side and then the water level raises and then you go through and there's boats passing and it's terrifying, but it's also really, really, really fun. And this year when we did it, there was like an old, well, yeah, he was just this really old man who was really grumpy who yelled at me because I did something wrong, but it was completely okay and really fun. So that's why I love going on the houseboat. That's it. That's a talk. Wasn't perfect, wasn't amazing, but it was fine, right? So right now, I'm going to give you folks maybe 30, 45 seconds. Just maybe think of your content a little bit. And then then somebody's going to come up and do a talk. All right? So go. If you really love work stuff, yeah, sure. Is your whole life? All right, for you, I'll make an exception. It can be work related, if that's what you're really, really comfortable with. He's chatting, so you got to be ready to go. Okay, we're going to bring our focus back up here. So we're going to be an awesome, wonderful, supportive audience to all the folks who get to come up here. And I really hope you get a chance to do this, because not everybody's going to get a chance. And I know some of you are like going, thank God, I don't want to do it. But honestly, it's like a really, really fun exercise, and it can be a really powerful thing. So who would like to go first? Yeah, right on. Give her a huge round of applause, please, for going first. Wonderful.
Who we are and what we like to do, and I couldn't really think of anything that I like to do. So Leah, my wonderful friend, reminded me that I love to bake, and I do. Pretty well every weekend I bake, and I have lots of different cookies that I like to make, and now I've started to try and venture out into other things to bake. I've attempted muffins. I've learned when they say don't overmix, you can't overmix, or else they literally come out like rubber and taste really terrible. Oh yeah, so my most recent, so I was trying, there's a backstory to it too. So I was trying, so I had chocolate monk that was expiring. When I say was expiring, it was like 4 days old. So the best before date is legit, because I taste tested it and it literally tasted like, you could probably swear, but I won't. So okay. Garbage. It tasted like garbage. So I decided not to put it in the baked goods that I wanted to make to use up the chocolate milk. So I made my own chocolate milk with non-expired white milk, and I made these. They're supposed to be like the Hostess, like where's the cream filling in the commercial, where it's like, sorry, the most recent. I mean, they're really old. They're like the chocolate thing with the white cream filling, and then the. Yeah. So I found you can make those at home and they're really easy. And so I made them for today's bake sale, but I forgot. So if you have another bake sale for your one block, they're coming.
Awesome. Give her a huge round of applause. It was great. Stay. No, you have to stay. Stay up, stay up, stay up. No, this is the good part. It's cool. So I have to ask you, what did she do really well? What did she do well when she was talking? Yeah. She smiled a lot. Awesome. She was like a human being. You were approachable. Yeah, it's lovely. Yes. Yeah. Baking is tricky stuff, right? It's like alchemy. It's like, well, I don't know. I don't understand. Yeah, it was excellent. And you, anything else that you did really well? Yes. Got it.
That you do that really well too.
Yeah. And that's excellent. Running constantly and just having a steady stream of stuff is a great way to lose an audience. Got to give them a break on occasion. Yeah. Really? You looked like, I was like, oh, okay, she's fine. Like you walked up here and your body language was really good and really nice. No, you were totally fine. Excellent. Wonderful work. Have a seat. Way to go. See, not so hard. Who wants to go next? Either way works. But either way works. Yeah, right on. That's okay. Neither do I half the time. Go.
On the floor and people were just picking on me, making fun of me. Really like racing. But I'm glad I came up here to do this because over the years I've been better and I've helped them presenting. But to set up and
Nicely done. Stay up. Got it. Everybody, you're going to stay up afterwards. Really nice work. Great work. What did she do well? Yes. Absolutely. You're talking about this whole thing about how in grade 6, who didn't get, traumatized in grade 6. Yeah, everybody did, right? What else? What else did she do really well? Yes. Yeah, you did really nice eye contact. Really great. Really great. And your body language actually was really, really good too. I know you probably felt a little bit nervous, but you're doing some really cool things with your hands. Like you're just going here and you were like, and the cards fell down, do you know what I mean? And that took us into the moment. That was really great. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Really exciting. Anybody else before she sits down? Can I give you a Pro 2 move? Ha, you thought you were sneaking away. No, you're not. See, actually part of it is just getting comfortable with standing here and having it be all right. Seriously, it is. That's a big deal. Like, and I'm doing it right now. I'm like, oh no, it's okay. But one thing to do, especially with the eye contact, you're doing really well with some people. There's a great thing. Oh man, you want to own a room? Oh, this is beautiful. So say you're doing a talk and you're doing a big presentation. You pick different points to look at, and you pick when you're going to talk to the whole room, like now, I'm talking to the whole room. Here I am talking to the whole room, but you know what? I've got a point. You know what? And when I was a little kid, a similar thing happened to me. Maybe it happened to you too, but yeah, the teacher was really a drag, and I don't know why. But you don't want to do it too long, because then it's creepy, right? So then maybe you go over here, and then you go like this for a while, but maybe it's something you relate to that as well, but then you bring it back out to the whole room again, right? Huh? Yeah. Oh, that's terrible.
Should I not? Like, do I look away? And I remember this one prof always looked at me.
It sounds kind of terrifying, actually.
She just stick accent.
Really? Awesome. Great job, Kylie. Really good. Who's next?
You know what? Kylie inspired me.
Excellent.
I'm gonna come up.
Love to hear that.
Okay. My name's Alyssa. All I really do is school and work. So I've recently discovered that I enjoy riding on motorcycles. And I started dating this guy who rides a motorcycle. It was really, really terrifying at first, but I got used to it. So we were riding up in like Tottenham, which is, I don't know, I like the city. It's kind of dead ass in the middle of nowhere. So we were riding up, and I guess we took the wrong turn. We were with a bunch of friends. We ended up in Shelburne. I don't know if any of you know where Shelburne is. I don't even know where Shelburne is. It's really close to Collingwood. And we ended up there, and these people were like, I don't know, man. I don't have a lot of color in myself, but I felt very dark. And then they started flying Confederate flags. And my first thing was like, oh my goodness, these people are, I said the word Hicks. And apparently you're not supposed to say that up there. But this was my adventure for the weekend. And it was just, my boyfriend grabbed my arm and he's like, Alyssa, we need to go back home. And we left. That was my story. Other than that, motorcycle riding is great. Make sure you always go with a map and make sure you know exactly where.
Nice, wonderful. That was terrific.
Sorry.
That was great. Stay, Alyssa, stay. Again, same question. What did she do really well? Yeah. It was funny. You're naturally funny. Yeah. A lot of cool hand stuff. A lot of really very, very expressive, which is really, really nice. And you took us on the trip. Like, there was drama. Like, it was really funny, as usually happens. Like, it's tough to just go up and be funny. But if it's part of a larger story, where there's some drama and some tension, it's much, much easier to get laughs. And you demonstrated that beautifully. Like, racism just popped its ugly head up.
Yeah.
And we were all scared for you. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I was just like, I don't want to go there. Like, you know, no one wants to go there. But you took us there, and then you got us home safe. And you also ended with 2 tips, which is beautiful. So, like, you ended it with this, so don't go to Shelburne, don't call people Hicks, right?
Yeah.
That was really good. Give her a round of applause. That was great. Who else? Yeah, come on. You know you want to. We're actually, we're going through this really fast. It's beautiful.
Okay, so
Getting
it's
through a lot of
like
people.
kind of a story and kind of like my like life in general. So I actually like hate talking in front of people. Like talking, it just makes me like really uncomfortable. My face gets really red. It's not getting red right now. But I love drama. Like I did drama all through high school, grade 10. No, not being in drama, like performing drama. So like grade 10 we did Alice in Wonderland, and I was the Mad Hatter, so that's not even like a timid role. That's like you gotta be psycho, right? So and then grade 11 I was Pinky in Happy Days. I'm like pink right now, so it's and then grade 12 I didn't do it, but anyway, so like grade 12 I had like a seminar for English class, which everyone has to do and everyone hates them. And everyone comes up with a paper and reads off of it for the whole thing, and then they get like maybe like a low 80, you know, like some not very great mark. And I just like, I don't know if this is a word, but I won the whole thing. So like no paper, like I practiced it beforehand, but I didn't bring anything to read off of, and I ended up with like a 98 on it because our teacher was just like, you didn't read anything, like that's exactly what I was looking for, someone who knew what they were talking about. So just like goes to show that you kind of like, I don't know, I can talk in front of people, but I don't like to unless I'm like performing.
That was wonderful. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Anything else? Yeah, Alyssa. Yes.
I know I'm from my own words and like you just said everything you need to say, and like I said, kind of like high school or middle school, everybody's
Yep.
not doing so much.
Yeah.
Period.
Absolutely.
But it's good. I like.
Absolutely. Yeah. Somebody, one of you. Humor and confidence. And a couple things I really want to address as well, like, and this goes to what you were talking about as well, I think, is you took your time. You took your time a bit. Like, you didn't go too slow, but I think your pace was somewhere about here, and then I did this thing, and then I saw the teacher. And that actually, when you're doing it, it can feel really slow. But to us as an audience, it was really good. Did it really? I thought your pacing was pretty much perfect, actually. And you took us, did you go along with the story? I was there. I was in the class. I was seeing everybody standing there, like that. And then I could imagine her going up and just blowing the teacher's mind. So you really brought us along in that story in a really, really nice way. Yeah, great stuff. Go ahead and have a seat. There's a couple of things I want to mention, because you mentioned a couple of things in that I really want to talk about. And we all mentioned it was a story. It was like everybody can relate to it. If you're doing something, I don't care what, like, could be the driest thing in the world. If you can talk about something that people can relate to, man, they'll jump on your side. Any kind of a story. Any kind of a story. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, there's a drain outside my house that floods. You know, there is. From all the neighbors, all the water, when it rains hard, goes right beside my house and sometimes clogs. And I go and stand there in ankle-deep water with an umbrella. And you know what I mean? Like, but you guys now know what that's like, right? So even if I was doing something that had nothing to do with that, I'd find a way to bring something like that in. Just though you come along the trip, you know? Which you did real well. All right, who's next? Right on. Go for it.
Okay, so I have a story that happened to me a few weeks ago. So I don't know if you guys know the music festival Osheaga. So I was coming home from Osheaga, and you know, after like a very tired weekend, like staying up till early hours in the morning, you just want to go home at the end, like you're just done with it. So we get on our bus, and there's an accident on one of the highways, and it's supposed to be like a 5-hour bus ride turned into a 9-hour bus ride. All of us were just dead on the bus. It was one of those times where you're just like, I just want to be home. And so we get off the bus, and because it's so late, it was like 12:30 a.m. in Toronto. There was no one to unload the luggage, so everyone was just getting their luggage out of the megabus by themselves. So I go in to get my luggage, and I was the last person, and I take my luggage out, and I realize when I'm like pulling it out that the wheel has come off. So I was like, oh crap, I gotta go look back for my wheel, because I don't want to go away with 3 wheels on this. It didn't work, right? So I go in, and someone who was working there closes the door of a luggage compartment while I'm inside of it. And so it was like I got on, and then I looked around, and I realized my wheel wasn't here. So I go back to leave, and I'm standing right here, and the door just goes, I see the guy, he's like looking right at me, he wasn't paying attention at all, he just slams the door right in my face. So I'm in the luggage compartment, I'm not where the seats are, like it's the bottom of the megabus, and then it starts driving away. So I'm pounding on the door, and my friends saw me because as the door closed, I was like, oh crap. And so they were like, I was pounding the door, I saw like some woman through the crack, I'm like, help me, I'm stuck in the freaking luggage compartment, and the bus is driving away. And then one of my friends, I was there with 3 friends, one of them ran in front of the bus and was like, stop the bus. And so then I got let out eventually. But yeah, if I had gone alone and didn't have friends and was locked in there, that would have been a nightmare. I almost took a video while I was in there, you know, YouTube, like locked in megabus in the luggage compartment. Probably would have got like 3 megabus rides for my life or something. But yeah, so that was my Osheaga. That was the wrap up of my Osheaga weekend. And that's
Amazing, awesome. Awesome, stay up, stay up, stay up. Fabulous. So cool. What did he do well? Yeah.
That was a hilarious story. It seemed like something that would be in a movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And like almost unbelievable. Like, do you know what I mean? But it happened, right? Yeah, that was lovely. Yeah. Alyssa.
I think that was just lovely to hear at the end of a very stressful work week. I was like, at least I didn't get
Yeah. Excellent.
It was pretty funny.
wonderfully.
Yeah. Yes.
Like expressions and tones made it feel like you were actually like with him there.
Yeah.
Locked in this bus.
Yeah. Was anybody else scared that they were gonna like go to Oklahoma or something, or Shelburne, where the racists are? Do you know what I mean? Like they're just no. Yeah. Excellent. You're very, very relatable, very funny, and we went on your story like crazy. It was really, really good. Really, really good. Excellent work. Give him a round of applause. Before I do the next one, I want to address something quickly, because this is a different kind of talk that we're talking about. Because when I'm saying, hey, come up and talk for a minute and a half, like that's interesting, right? But I want to talk about 2 things. I want to talk about the podium. There will be a podium when you speak. I want you to notice the difference. So somebody introduces me, I come up, I stand here, and I have notes, right? Now, how's that for you guys? Yeah, it's boring, right? And some people will stay locked into the podium. If you're actually nervous of speaking, this feels really safe because you've got this awesome big thing in front of you protecting you. But what it does is it actually really cuts your audience off from you. So notice how I'm talking right now at this level of intensity, and I actually have to work harder. I'm instinctively using my eyes more to try to reach you because there's nothing going on here. But then if I go like that, is that different? Does it feel like I'm more relatable? Like maybe I'm a human and I'm not a threat, right? Yeah, so whenever you can, get away from the podium. It's okay if other people use it, that's cool. Sometimes I feel like they have to, or that's where the only place where a mic is. But if somebody introduces you and they expect you to come directly to the podium, you can say, wow, it's really great to be here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You know, I wanted to talk about a thing like this. And then you got the whole room. Cool, right? All right, another thing. I'm going to show you another trick, and then somebody else is going to go. Here's this. So you're in a room, a lot like this. Somebody's doing a presentation, and they throw to you. And say, oh, and over to Rob. And you go, okay. And you got like 10 minutes of stuff to do. Again, this is a hard position to present in. Already I feel like I'm losing your interest. I got to work really hard from here. If you're also shy and scared, that makes it worse, right? And that's when people end up doing this. And this was our thing, and this was our thing. Here's a trick on how to take control of the room immediately. In a nice way, not like in a mean way, but in a nice way. So somebody introduces you, maybe you do your first minute here, because you don't want to freak people out. Talk, 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 talk. And then you want to make a point. Say you got a slide going. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, and there's an interesting thing about this slide. Yeah, you know what? When we found this out, it was really interesting. That's different, right? And all of a sudden, I'm standing up and now I've got your attention. And then just, you know, for fun, I can stand here for 2 minutes, make my biggest point or whatever, and then go back if I want to and sit down, right? Not that hard, right? But you do that and your stuff will just shine. All right, who else wants to go?
Okay.
You're gonna go? What are you on? Yeah, Grace.
No.
Love it.
Okay. So.
Are we good?
My
Okay.
last name is Salmon. Growing up, that was a torture because I've always teased. I have 2 boys. I grew up in a house with 3 girls. My dad has no brothers, so there are no sons. There's no more Salmons left. It's dead. That's it. I have 3 sisters, and it's not going any further. I have two of my boys have my last name. How torturous is that? Because I thought as a kid growing up, everybody's going to make fun of me or make fun of my kids. So then in turn, as punishment, I named them Salmon. So it's Salmon and their dad's name is Williams. So it's J.D. Salmon Williams and Chase Salmon Williams. And somebody said to me the other day, what if they get married and their wives want to keep their last names? Then what? So I was like, well, they can figure it out. I was teased. They're younger, or they're older, they're going to have to figure out some way to work that into it. But growing up in a house of all girls and then having a house of all males, I'm outnumbered. The only thing that I can, it's like, what's that whole theory about what did Rome do as Romans do?
Mm-hmm.
That's me, that's my life. So in my house, we watch football, basketball, cricket, tennis, golf. We're watching every Olympic sport known to man. I'm now an expert in football, yay Patriots. So it's really different being in a house of males when I grew up in a house of females.
Marvelous. Great. Hey, Grace. Hey. Thank you so much. What did Grace do very well? Yeah.
That was also very relatable, like about
Yeah.
teasing about the name, like I can definitely
Yeah.
relate to that. And also the living in a house full of all males versus living all female house. That's also
Yeah.
relatable.
And just how different that dynamic would be. Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah, very relatable stuff. Anybody else? Yeah.
When we speak, and just in general, all the people who spoke up today, and he spoke with expression, he took breaks, and added character to what you were saying, made it more interesting
Yeah.
and relatable. And I'm saying that because although it seems like, yeah, when you speak with expression, like, duh, everyone does.
Yeah.
I think back to these presentations that I saw from like researchers who just present their data, and I gotta say, like, this is a lot better than
Yes, it
compared
is.
to those things. Those are, regardless of what they say, sometimes if they don't have expression, it's just really boring.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you spoke well, great expression. It was relatable, but even if it wasn't relatable, it would still be interesting because I just said it in an interesting way.
How do you make research or stats interesting?
That is an awesome question. There are ways. Yeah.
You just have to say why it's cool. You have to get across, like, forget what, you know, the technical stuff. It depends on your audience, right? So if you're presenting, let's say I do mass spectrometry. But to present to you guys, I'm obviously not going to to talk about the specifics. I'm going to talk about why we can detect a cancer margin. But why do you care about that? Oh, because then your cancer won't come back in 5 years, right? So like you just make it so, okay, forget about, you know, mass spectrometry detecting molecules and stuff. I barely care, right? But you just talk about the cool stuff. And the thing is, like, the more specific your conference is, you will have the kind of, you know, you will have the people in the back who will then put up their hand and ask about some molecule and all that stuff. But you can address those questions, you know, later, or even you can have the details on your slide, like for your spray, you know, your chemical content and all that stuff. You can have it on the slide. But yeah, because I struggle with that too. I do physics and medicine, but you know, I don't care about this sort of specific enzyme for someone's presentation. So like, you know, those are really hard to sit through.
Yep. You're exactly correct. You're absolutely correct. Go for what your audience is going to care about and make it interesting. Find the why is terrific. You hit on find the why. People care about why.
Yeah.
That's why I hit it so hard when we started out. If I just started coming out and saying, eye contact is important, you probably wouldn't have cared. But like, I really got heavy into the why, maybe even a little bit too much, what this can do for you. You're talking about the same thing, right? What is dramatic about this? What is the story? That's excellently said, yeah. Yeah, you did great too. Sorry, I don't want to, you know, you can go if you want. But yeah, you took your time and you told a lovely story and we all went on the ride. Like, were you comfortable?
Again, you're wanting to, you have this idea, you're sitting there with this idea, and you're going to hit these points, and you get up there, and it doesn't exactly come that way.
Yeah.
Or you're saying too much, and you're trying to get it all out, and it's not coming out the way you want it.
But it's fine though. Like I gotta say, is from an audience point of view, didn't that seem really good?
That was good.
It doesn't matter. We don't want you to be perfect. The audience doesn't want you to be perfect. We don't care. And I know I'm a little almost over time, but honestly, we don't. If you screw up a word, you do a little bit of the wrong thing, that's okay. Like to us, we just went on the trip. We're very happy. Good work. Give a round of applause. We're going to go round of applause. I know I'm really running out of time very quickly, and there's one thing I want to say. And most people got to go. This room is still going to be here. If you want to stay and work with me a little bit afterwards, if you didn't get a chance to go and you'd like to, I am totally into that. I can't guarantee we'll get through everybody, but that would be fun. The other reason why I think this stuff is so important, and I know I've been hammering it, why this stuff is great is, and I'll tell you this, it's kind of a vulnerable thing, but your work is really important. Your work is really important. Don't let anybody tell you it's not. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what your research is, but the stuff you do is important. And where you are right now in your career and your education, honestly, like, this system needs to get better. There's some stuff we do wonderfully. There's some stuff we don't do wonderfully. And you folks are going to be the people who come up with the innovative ideas to do it. You really are. So myself and everybody else who's gone through a cancer experience, we really appreciate your work. Thank you so much.